Welcome to Onslow County today. I'm your host, Lisa Whitman-Grice, and you can see we're continuing to take our show on the road. Today we are at the historic Pelletier House in downtown Jacksonville. The Pelletier House was built about 1860 and is the oldest house in Jacksonville. The reason we're here today is to talk about resiliency. This house has been standing here for more than 150 years, and like Onslow County, it has stood the test of time, it has stood the test of storms. Today we're also going to be visiting with lots of our guests who are going to talk about resiliency, who are going to talk about coming together, and who are going to be talking about building a stronger community and stronger families. As always, we're so glad that you're here for Onslow County today. Welcome back to Onslow County today, and we have some very special guests joining us here on the porch of the Pelletier House. We have Dawn Stallings with the Onslow County Cooperative Extension Office, their 4-H director. Dawn, welcome back.
Glad to be back.
And you also have John Osborne with Onslow County Cooperative Extension and 4-H. And you guys have brought a very special guest. Dawn, introduce your guest to us, please.
This is John. He is one of our master gardeners at the Extension Office.
Good morning.
All right, well, we are so glad you all are here. We're trying, it's been a hard fall. You all don't even need me to tell you that. And you have continued on with your programming, and bringing that seasonal spirit to us today really means a lot. So we want to talk about a couple of things. And the first thing we want to talk about is your annual wreath program. And that's something that, we've watched you all do, and the beauty of these wreaths and how they can welcome people to your home for the season. Tell us a little bit about the wreath sale that you all have starting, and when you're going to take orders. We want to know all about wreaths, and we're going to ask you kind of all a little bit about what that wreath program means. Dawn, I know this is kind of new to you.
Absolutely.
And I have to tell you, I bought and have bought these wreaths through the years. They last forever, Mr. John.
Yes.
They last forever. I want you to tell folks just how long you said one of yours had lasted.
I put mine out last year, and it lasted about 3 months, 4 months.
And it just...
with a great fragrance. That's one of the things that you'll notice. They smell so good, and they're so nice. And
they stay green.
Yes.
And all you really have to do is, if you keep it up there, all you have to do is change the bow. And you get a wreath that kind of stretches out across the seasons a little bit.
And we do sell bows at the event.
So the whole idea of the wreath program is to benefit Cooperative Extension, but not just any one program. Dawn, how does the wreath sale program benefit all of what you do at Extension?
So it benefits 4-H, it benefits our master gardeners, as well as our Extension Community Association as well.
And so you have wreath sales kicking off starting when?
Starting now.
Okay, so right now, all of November.
Mm-hmm. Orders are coming in.
And you got to get your wreath orders in, because then a big group caravan heads to pick all these up.
Absolutely.
And these wreaths come from the mountains of North Carolina, I understand.
Come from Ashe County. Yep.
Ashe County, okay.
Yep.
And so how much are the wreaths?
So they're $22 each.
Okay.
Yep. And orders have to be submitted by November 16th.
Okay, so just before Thanksgiving, got to get those orders in. Then right after the holiday, you guys run, pick them up.
So actually, we'll pick them up on the 20th, and they'll be available to pick up on the 21st at our Extension office.
Yep. So even before Thanksgiving. That's fantastic.
Yep.
So go ahead, get your wreath now. $22 a wreath.
Yep.
You have the forms, I know, available at your office, but at different locations as well.
Right.
And John, you were talking about that fragrance.
Yes.
And I know on pickup day, when you guys have all those out in the farmer's market, it smells like Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, that room is
pine forest.
It smells just like going to the forest there.
Yeah.
John Osborne, talk about how this benefits 4-H? The programmatically how that benefits them.
Well, every dollar goes into supporting Onslow County Public Youth, our community youth projects and youth development programs. So it's wonderful. Everything that comes in goes right back into the community.
So first thing we definitely want to say, go get your wreath, order your wreath, pick up your wreath, get a beautiful bow, and then hang it on your front door to welcome folks. And all of the funding benefits what you all do.
Absolutely.
And John, you said, the monies that go into your youth programming, your kids don't take that for granted. And you're holding a box that shows just how much they believe in giving back. And we want to make sure that folks know a little bit more. We spoke with you all a couple of months ago about Elder Cheer, but we also want to definitely make sure that we give that just a little more emphasis today.
Sure. So the Elder Cheer program is a partnership between Onslow County 4-H and the Department of Social Services. So the wonderful folks over there, we all collect goods that the community brings into us. So some of the items include throw blankets, socks, also personal care goods such as shampoos and lotions, shaving kits, and toothbrushes. And this is all for our senior citizens, our senior neighbors, basically, who are primarily in assisted living homes and other senior programs and such. And so we collect everything until November 19th, and we take it over to the extension office, and sometime in early December, we put them all together into stocking bags and gift bags, and then the folks at DSS, they deliver them the next day.
Wow, it's such a great program. Your kiddos, your 4-Hers get to be elves, Santa's helpers, if you will, put all this together. And so you all have really brought the spirit of the season to us today. So we want to make sure everybody knows how to reach you all. So first, let's give them the main telephone number there.
Okay, so it's 910-455-5873.
Okay, and Mr. John, tell folks how to find the Master Gardeners, to find your clinic, to find the farmers market and cooperative extension, all right there.
Well, we're basically right off of Richlands Highway.
Okay.
And in the parking lot there by the farmers market. That's a big sign that says the farmers market and county extension. And we have an office in the building there right off the front back area parking lot.
All right. And John Osborne, we don't want to ever forget 4-H and how kids can become involved in 4-H. They can call that main number, but you have 4-H programs that you do not just there, but also after school. So one more time, let's encourage kiddos to be involved with 4-H.
Yes, absolutely. Come out, join 4-H. We do wonderful things. We help kids better themselves and also help them to better their communities that they live in. So stop by our office at 4024 Richlands Highway, and that's here in Jacksonville. So come out, talk to us, visit with us, find out what we do.
Awesome. Well, Cooperative Extension, Master Gardeners, 4-H, thank you all for bringing a little bit of the holiday spirit to us, because I know we all can use it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back to Onslow County today, and each November we are honored to celebrate November as National Adoption Awareness Month, and we have some very special guests with us. We have Alexis Hampton from Onslow County Department of Social Services, and Alexis, you have brought a family with us that is near and dear to your heart. Please introduce your guest for us, please.
This is Kelly and Brian O'Day. They are one of our adoptive families.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming in. Every November, this is personally one of my favorite segments that we get to do, because we get to celebrate right here at the holiday season family. And you all have built a beautiful, wonderful family through adoption, and we want to hear your story. And Alexis, we want to talk about what this means to you, not just professionally, but personally, the relationships that you build, but also the need for adoption and adoption of children here in Onslow County. So the first thing we want to do is tell us a little bit about the adoption awareness program that you all do, and sort of the type of things you offer at Onslow County DSS.
At Onslow County DSS, we have over 250 children in foster care, and some of those children may go home to their families, and some of those children may be adopted. So my job is I work with children who their plan is adoption, and I help them identify a family who is a good match for them and who is able to help them heal and grow. And so we we work with those children. Sometimes they're already in families to finalize those adoptions to find them a forever family. In Onslow County, we are mostly a foster to adopt agency. We want the children to be in a foster home prior to being adopted so that we can monitor that placement, make sure it's a good match for them, make sure that they are having all of their needs met and everything that they need so that it's a lasting placement for them. So most of our placements are in foster homes that we do adoptions to.
Brian and Kelly, talk a little bit about your story. Did you all begin as a foster to adopt family? Is that where your story began, or was yours slightly different?
Yeah, absolutely. We have gone through 3 different adoptions, foster to adopt. The first was a sibling group, and that was actually in the state of Oklahoma. And we were able to bring a sibling group of 3 into our home. So we went from 0 to 3 kids all at once. And then our 2 most recent adoptions were adopting a 14, almost 15-year-old from DSS here in North Carolina. And then most recently adopting a toddler through Onslow County DSS.
You know, Kelly, we were talking a little bit off camera before before we came inside, and we were just visiting, and you mentioned your toddler, and that originally was going to be a foster situation, and it transitioned, it changed. And so you have been building your family now for almost 10 years, I understand?
Yes.
So how old are your sibling group? How old are those kiddos?
So our daughter is 13, and then we have twin 11-year-old boys. And so we got them at 17 months old and 3, almost 4 years old when we adopted them 10 years ago.
I know. I mean, it just happens so fast. And then, as you all relocated, came here to North Carolina, and then you built your family some more. You added to your family some more, and you made the decision to adopt a teenager. Before we talk about that situation, because I have been the mom of teenagers, Alexis, talk about how when we look at building families, that it's not always the baby and the need in the community for people to consider bringing a teenager into their home.
Yeah. We serve children ages 0 to 18. And so when we have a child who comes into care who has often come from a difficult situation where there's been abuse or neglect or dependency, where they don't have parents who are readily available for them, they can be any age. We can have children who come straight from the hospital as infants. We can have children who are 17 and a half when they come into foster care. So we're looking for families who are willing to adopt any child. A majority of the children that we find more difficult to place are children who are 11 or 12 or older. Mm-hmm. Lots of families want a baby, but those are not often the children that we have that we need homes for. We have some really fantastic teenagers that we work with. They've had some really difficult situations that they've dealt with, but what I know about our kids is that they're wonderful and that they're resilient, and that all they want is someone to love them.
You know, you all have done that. You've opened your heart and your home and welcomed in first 3 and then a teenager. And I can't imagine that created any disruption or changes in your household at all, right?
Yeah, it was really hard, but to get a front row seat to the growth and the change in her life as a teenager it's just been one of the coolest things, you know, and to be able to provide stability and love that she had never had beforehand, and it's been truly amazing to do that.
And on top of that, she got 3 cool kids already as siblings right there.
I don't know that she got that right first. No, she does.
And then your new kiddo,
yes,
your newest kiddo, so came in at 1, I understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Came into your home, came into your hearts
mm-hmm.
at 1, and now almost 2.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's 2, yeah.
2, okay. So 2-year-olds are probably less disruptive than teenagers, right?
Yes, they actually are. Yeah, it was cool. Like that situation was, we didn't know. They just said we need to place her, and we said yes, and that turned into, and so it was just foster care initially, and then it turned into an adoptive situation. And so our plans initially were reunification with their family, and then that transitioned to being a forever home for her. And so it does take a lot of flexibility, but she's been a great addition to our family, and we've just been able to grow in love for her over the past year or so.
So from your daughter, your oldest teenager is 15?
18.
She's 18 now.
Okay, 18. From 18 to 2, and a forever home for everybody. When you all were making these decisions and thinking about with each child, welcoming them into your home, how important was the relationship that you had with your social work team or your support team as you were making that transition?
It's very important. So for us, the need really drove a lot of our decisions. So when we were in Oklahoma, they were really struggling to adopt sibling groups and find adoptive homes for sibling groups. And then when we started the process with our oldest, they needed, most of the need was with teenagers. And so we worked with social workers, worked with a couple of external agencies that work with DSS, and saw that the need was teenagers, and were led to adopt our oldest. And then the youngest was they needed an emergency placement, and we had an open bed, and so we were an emergency placement that ultimately turned into adoption. And so working with them, what is the need, what are you looking for, and us being open to meet and fill those needs.
And also just the resources available that they provide, just if they need therapy or any kind of counseling services, has been really helpful, especially with our oldest, for sure.
Now, Alexis, when you hear that story, and I don't believe in accidents, so when you hear the story of Brian and Kelly and their family, and the need was there, and it just so happened that they were there, talk about that, not just making that right match, but knowing that these families and these kiddos belong together.
When we're looking for placements, we interview families. We like to do a face-to-face. We talk to them about our kids. We don't have the child there the first time unless it's an emergency type situation. But when we're looking for a match, it's a feeling. It's something that I know my kids. I get to know them, and I know what's going to be good for them. And I always tell families that if you're not the right family, you're the right family for someone. It just may not be for this child, because we're looking for what's the best thing for that child and what's going to be a forever perfect placement. I've had perfect families that I've interviewed that just haven't been the right for one family. So if you're a family who's interested in adopting but haven't been called or haven't been selected, keep trying, keep putting your name out there, because you may just not have found the child that is the right child for you, or the right sibling group, or and that's something I try to reiterate with families when I interview them, that we will keep you in mind. We'll keep asking, that there's so many kids out there that need homes, and we're just looking for the right match.
Just the right match. I always say, we talked about that there are no perfect parents and there are no perfect kids, but there is the perfect fit.
Yes.
There is the perfect fit, finding that right family. Kelly and Brian, when you think about how you've built your forever family, what would you say to other families that are thinking about, they've pondered how they might build their family, they've pondered how they might make their family? What would you share with them about your experience that might tell them the time will come, it'll be right?
I think I would say be open to things that maybe you weren't initially thinking when you started the process. And so when we started the process with our oldest, we were looking for another sibling group because that's what we had done before. And being open to other options and other possibilities allowed us to meet our oldest daughter. The other thing I would say is commit. Once a child comes into the home, commit to the plan, work with the workers, and commit to those things. Commit to the children and commit to the plan that the workers have established. And the plan may change, but commit to the plan and commit to the child and what's best for the child. It's not what's best for our family, it's what's best for the child. And it does take some flexibility, and it really does take a commitment to the child.
Very good. I can't imagine that we could end it any better than that, because it's ultimately about what is best for the child, what's best for the children. As we think about this, Alexis, as we kind of close out, if people are considering this, what are some things, one, that you would recommend, just some as they begin the process, and how can they contact you to learn more about the process?
Things I would consider would be talking to your family, talking to your spouse, your loved ones, the people who are your support, the people who are your team. We at Onslow County DSS are here to support you during the process and after. However, there comes a point when we're no longer part of that process, and we're here if you need us, but we're not readily available as your caseworker. So you need support in your community or in your home and your family outside of us. So talking to those people and how they feel about the process, because those are going to be your natural supports that you need. If you're interested in this process, Onslow County DSS offers foster care training several times a year. Mm-hmm. They can contact Onslow County DSS to get into those classes and get on the waiting list. We always suggest that families go through the foster care classes. It teaches them so much about the trauma that children go through, about what it's like to be removed from their family and how scary that is, and really kind of puts perspective into families to really learn about what these children are going through and to best help them. So that training is so much more than just us wanting you to have a class. It's a lesson to help you know whether this process is right for you.
Well, we appreciate you sharing that information with us and inviting the O'Days to join us and sharing your story. Thank you for opening your heart and opening your home and building your forever family for your 5 wonderful kiddos. Mm-hmm. And Alexis, thank you for your time and what you do for the children of Onslow County. We wish you all a very happy holiday season, and we thank you for being with us. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, welcome back to Onslow County today. We've kept Alexis Hampton here with us from DSS to talk with us about the Angel Tree program. And Alexis, thank you for staying with us and talking about Angel Tree. First and foremost, tell us, what is Angel Tree?
Angel Tree is a program that was developed many years ago in Onslow County to give Christmas gifts to the children that we have in foster care here in Onslow County, to make sure that they get gifts for Christmas and have a really special Christmas.
And this program, I mean, we've been talking about this for years, so it's probably at least 20 years that it's been in existence. And as we were talking with Brian and Kelly earlier, we were saying that, you know, the children who are in our foster care system here in Onslow County are not just little kids.
Correct.
These are from 0 to 18. So
yes.
The Angel Tree program really provides a Christmas for kids of all ages.
Absolutely. We have over 250 children in care in Onslow County, and they range from ages 0 to 18. And we do also have an 18 to 21 program, so we do often do gift cards for our older kids as well. So the gifts that are on those angels are for children of any age.
And what sort of things do you see on the angels? Because the children pick what they would like. That's something special. I mean, everybody can get socks for the holidays, but you want something special. And so tell us a little bit about what are the sort of things that you see your kids, and I love that you call them your kids, by the way, but the things that your kids are looking for and would like to have this holiday season.
We typically ask them when they're making those lists to list 5 things under $25. We want people who have all different price ranges to be able to provide gifts for our children and to be able to contribute and do something special for the holidays for these children. So we try not to have them ask for very extravagant gifts, but we do have them, they'll ask for from lip gloss to stuffed animals to toys, bikes, any type of toy gift cards. A lot of times our older children ask for gift cards so that they can spend it on things that they would like to pick out themselves.
Well, when you're 12, you're very specific in your taste. So sometimes that gift card's the best thing. And talk about how important it is for families who are out in the community to maybe take their children along when they select that angel and then when they go out to purchase the gifts.
Absolutely. I think that's a very special lesson for children in our community. They don't often understand what some of the kids that they may go to school with are going through, and that they may not have many things to get. And so I think it's very special and important for them to be able to learn that and to learn how to help to contribute to other children in their community.
And as people are making that decision, we're right here on top of the holiday season, it's time to get out there. Where will we find the angel trees? And what are kind of the time frames?
We will have 6 trees up. There will be one at the Swansboro Library, one at the Onslow County Jacksonville Library, one at Planet Fitness, Onslow Fitness, the Jacksonville Mall, and at Burton Park in Jacksonville. Those trees should go up right before Thanksgiving, and the angel will be on the tree. You can pick out the one that you want, and it will have a name and age of the child, and if they're a male or a female, and then the list of gifts that they will get. We ask that you take those back and bring them back to whatever location you purchased them from, or back to Onslow County DSS. By the second week of December, so that we can go through those things and distribute them to our children and make sure they get wrapped for them for Christmas.
Okay, so bring them back for sure, unwrapped,
yes,
and keep the angel with it so it stays matched up.
Yes.
Okay, and people can we also make gifts to DSS, financial contributions, monetary gifts, just to you all, because I know that you all also try and make sure that every child gets something.
Absolutely. We do supplement if there are children who aren't chosen from the tree, or if there's something that's more difficult to pick out, we will supplement with any donations that we have. So any of those donations can be made to Onslow County DSS, to the foster care donation line.
Wonderful. Well, Alexis, thank you. Thank you for introducing us to the O'Days, and thank you for what you do for the kids, for your kids in Onslow County. Thanks so much. Welcome back to Onslow County Today, and joining us now is Matthew Mano, Youth Services Director with the Onslow County Public Library. Matthew, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
We were only half joking that, you're not wearing pajamas.
I'm not. No pajamas, no crazy hair.
We're a little disappointed because Matthew, you always bring the fun. You always bring the joy and the celebration of learning and books and everything that you do for your children there at Onslow County Public Library. So it's okay. Maybe next time.
Next time, for sure. Absolutely. We'll get ready for Christmas.
There we go. So we just want to talk a little bit about what you guys have been doing. We know that this has been a really challenging time in our whole community with Hurricane Florence, and we've all had to kind of back down from our programming. So you guys had to cancel some things, but things are back going full steam ahead, literally in some cases.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so talk a little bit about what's going on at the library this fall, and we want to especially talk about something cool you've got coming up.
Yeah, so this fall, like you said, we're back full steam ahead. We have all of our youth programs, adult programs, Pinterest party, our story times, our school age programs. Just because school's not in session doesn't mean we're not. So we have lots of stuff that we're doing, but with school coming back as well, we have all of our Lego, My Library, we have Full Steam Ahead, our teen scene, We'll be kicking off, of course, all of our fall events. You were just talking about actually the pirate table. That's our big one that we want to push right now.
Well, one, I love all things pirates.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I love food.
Yes.
And you guys are bringing them
We're
together.
bringing the best of both worlds, especially because, of course, this year is a big celebration around this area specifically with Blackbeard's the 300th anniversary.
Yes.
So we'll be having the Beaufort Maritime Museum coming out to Jacksonville's branch. So at the main branch, they'll be talking all things dining from everything that they found at the Queen Anne's Revenge shipwreck. So they'll be talking about archaeological things like what they found on dining tables, what they've eaten during that time, everything that Blackbeard's been devouring. So they'll also have samples of hardtack and jerky.
Oh, very cool. So the idea is looking at the archaeological excavation that's been going on for better than 15 years now, what they've excavated from the site of the QAR, and then how that kind of answers some questions about what Blackbeard and his crew might have been eating.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's gonna be exciting. Like you said, I mean, who doesn't love food? So
Right, and pirates. So you're imagining, of course, we always think yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
Right.
But pirates can't live by rum alone.
Exactly.
And so you're going to be talking about what they might have gleaned from the land that was, if they made landfall or if they preserved it in some way. So certainly the jerky and hardtack. Matthew, I have to tell you, have you ever eaten hardtack?
Long ago. It was long ago. I probably wouldn't try it again.
Well, the thing about hardtack is it doesn't taste any differently no matter how old it gets.
No, yes. It's got no flavor to me, actually, whenever I try it.
It's just flour and water. So, So it's kind of like the oldest biscuit you've ever had in your life.
Right.
So a crunchy old biscuit, but hardtack and jerky and all the food that they would have had. I think that's a great way to connect people with the story because pirates just aren't about pillage and plundering. They got to eat too.
Yeah.
They got to eat too. So
For
really
sure.
cool. And to celebrate that, when exactly will that be? What's the date? And do we need to make reservations?
So no reservations necessary. You can show up. It'll be November 15th at 6:30 p.m.
Okay.
They're gearing it towards an adult program, but we'll also have activity pages and stuff for the kiddos. That way, if you want to bring the kiddos, there's something for them to do too.
All right. So a pirate's table? Is that what we're calling it?
Yes, the Pirates Table.
The Pirates Table at the main branch in Jacksonville. They're off of Doris Avenue. No fee, no reservations.
Correct.
6:30 on November the 15th.
Yes.
All right.
Got it.
Well, thank you so much. And we are definitely going to have you back when we get closer to Christmas.
Yeah.
Back for our December show and find out about what's going on.
Perfect.
Thank you all for providing. You mentioned our kids have been out of school for a very long time. And one of the great resources we have in our community is the Onslow County Public Library System. So for all of our kids who have been out of school, we know that they have been using your resources there, that you all have kept that sense of excitement about learning going on every day so that they can be ready when it comes time to go back to school. So thank you for that. And thank you always for what you do, Matthew.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you at Christmas time.
Yeah, we will be doing lots at Christmas, so yeah.
Thanks so much. Welcome back to Onslow County today, and joining us now is Jennifer Montefort from Onslow County Animal Services. Jennifer, thanks for joining us so much.
Thank you for having us.
Before we talk about all the things that you all have got in store for this fall, we did want to say thank you because you all played such an important part for our families who have been recovering from the storm and even before the storm, helping families prepare for the hurricane. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that you all did and how you've been able to help our families.
So during the hurricane, obviously it's a stressful time, and for Onslow County Animal Services, the community as well as our community's animals are really important. So we were really proud to take part in the county's pet-friendly shelter. So we were able to go out to that shelter and make sure that families could evacuate with their pets. It's really important. You see a lot of the times in storms like this, people leaving their pets behind or not evacuating because of their pets. So it's really important for us to get families to understand that we have an outlet for them. They can evacuate with their animals and be safe during a storm.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for that, because I witnessed that and how much we appreciated everything that you all did. So thank you for that. And now, trying to get back to this sense of new normalcy, if you will, and you all have got a lot going on for the fall. Let's talk about your adoption events and your information events and some of your just getting out into the community events, which I think are a lot of fun. So share with us first about your adoption events you've got coming up.
So we've got a lot coming up. Holiday time is our busy time, the fall and winter period. So we have a few adoption events coming up. We have one at Stevenson Hendrick Toyota, which is always a great time. We bring all of our animals out there, and invite the community to come out and meet our animals outside of the shelter, which is fun to do. And we also have a new event coming up for November, which is National Shelter Awareness Month. And we're teaming up with the Onslow County Library for the first time. And we're having an event during the week out there at the main branch. So we're really excited about that.
All right. So adoption, and this idea of finding that perfect fit, that perfect family member, and finding that forever family.
Yes, absolutely.
Forever family. Talk a little bit about when you're getting families to think about adopting a new pet for their home, the considerations that need to come into play. Because, they're all really beautiful. They're all cute. They've all got, wet noses and happy faces, but it might not be the right pet for your household. So talk about how you advise people.
So we obviously encourage adoption, but we want that to be something that people think about beforehand. Consider where you live, what your future holds, what level of activity you have. So you want to make the right match. And we have the opportunity to have families come in. We can speak with them. They can meet several different animals and make sure that the animal they're bringing home with them is the right fit for them, and it's going to be a forever match.
Wonderful. Now you've got your adoption events, but you're also doing a lot of things out in the community as well. What are some of the things you're going to be doing this fall?
We're really excited about the holiday parade, and it's the 4th year, I believe, we're taking part in that, and we actually have a float in it this year. We did that last year. We have OCS volunteers as well as alumni. Dogs come out and walk with us and ride on the float, and it's a really fun time.
That's awesome. And when we're thinking about the holidays, that has a whole nother special considerations with families who have pets, and that is making sure that they're safe in the midst of all the fun and festivities. It can be also a little bit scary, a little bit uncertain. So talk about some special precautions we want to take.
Sure. Well, the holidays are about family, and we want to remember our four-legged family members as well. And it can be stressful, family in and out, traveling, a lot going on. So just take that extra time to consider your animals, whether they need a little time away, a little space on their own. When you have a lot of people coming in and out, you want to your animals to have a safe space to get away to. Also, you want to be careful about the foods you have out and keeping them safe. So, it's very tempting to want your animals to share in the holiday festivities, but we want them to be safe and keep them well. So, no sharing of the holiday festivities.
There we go. So, adoption events, parade events, making sure that our pets are safe in all of those situations in the midst of the festivities. And also, when we get up to the holiday breaks that will be coming up, our kids are going back to school, but then we'll have the holiday session open. You also have some volunteer opportunities, especially for some of our teen volunteers. Talk a little bit about how they can help you out during the holiday season.
We have a terrific volunteer program, and we have volunteers from high schoolers to Marines to retirees. So we get everybody in, and we appreciate any help that they can give us. So especially during the Christmas break season, we do see a lot of our teen volunteers come in. So if anyone is interested in volunteering, we encourage them to contact us at the shelter, either through our Facebook page or just reach out to us, and we'll get them started with the program.
All right. And finally, we also want to make sure that our viewers are aware you all have had some new ordinances put into place. And where can they find that so that they can read that and really become more familiar with that?
Yes, in August, the Onslow County Board of Commissioners approved some amendments to the ordinances, specifically the Chapter 4, which is our animal ordinances. And we definitely encourage citizens to read that and familiarize themselves with the changes. It's really important to know those. And they can find those on our website. We have a link to those on our website. And if anyone wants to come into the shelter, we'd be more than happy to print those out for them as well.
Oh, very good. So last but not least, we want to make sure that everybody knows where Onslow County Animal Services is located and how they can contact you.
We are located at 244 Georgetown Road in Jacksonville, and to contact us, you can either do that by phone, which is 910-455-0182, and we have a great Facebook page, as well as our website has some great information as well.
Well, Jennifer, it is always great having you visit with us, sharing with us, and thank you for what you do for our furry members of the Onslow County community, and for what you do to help keep our families safe and well. And we appreciate you coming and talking with us today, and we look forward always to our future visits.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to Onslow County today, and we have taken a little stroll out here to the Onslow County Waterfront Park, and joining me now is Anna Stanley with Onslow County Park and Recreation. Anna, thanks for coming out here with us.
Thanks for having me, of course.
This is part of your wonderful park system, just this wonderful little view of the New River and this gorgeous view of the bridges. So thanks for helping us kind of just get out here in nature a little bit.
Of course.
So Anna, we want to talk about the things that you have going on this fall, but certainly the thing that's on everyone's mind still is recovering from the hurricanes. And tell us, have all your parks fared pretty well? Everything back up and running okay?
Yes, I think we have gotten everything just about back up and running. I know all the playgrounds have been cleared, the fields have been cleared, and just last week they were finishing up all the nature trails inside the parks.
Wonderful. So getting back to normal, and that means programming, so you all have a lot going on. You always do. Tell us what you've got going on.
Well, we've got we're going to be going into the holidays,
Right.
So of course we're going to be having some what I call handmade holiday series. It's going to go through November and December, so it's anything and everything to wreath making, jewelry making, gifts that you can give to somebody else, but they're handmade. So everything is going to be handmade.
All right.
So,
and you know that's so special when you can put your own personal touch on it, and that when you give it to someone, they know that it's been crafted with love.
Yeah.
Now, you also have a Dr. Seuss event coming up?
Yes. So we have, it's called Seuss-tastic
Okay.
Loud Creations. So basically it's an afternoon where parents can go ahead and start their Christmas shopping early, and they can drop the kids off from 12 to 5, and so everything is Seuss. Everything is Seuss. They're going to do a paint by canvas. They're going to do some edible crafts, some food art that is Seuss inspired as well, and Seuss games. I mean, it's all day is Dr. Seuss.
All day is Dr. Seuss. And what day is that?
It is the first Saturday in November, which is November 3rd.
All right, so first Saturday in November, and that's going to be at your Onslow Pines Park at the main park there?
Yes, it'll be in the classroom in the back of the park.
All right, so Seuss-tastic.
Yes.
Handmade. Parks are all back up and running.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you guys have just a beautiful location. We're fortunate in that our falls are always so pleasant. Tell folks about getting out and just enjoying the parks, getting out and just enjoying the beauty that's Onslow County.
Well, all of our parks have walking trails. So, I mean, like you said, this is the perfect time of year. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. You can just come and just take a walk through the park. It's nice and leisurely. Or if you want to, get a little bit more exercise, do a light jog. I mean, so there's plenty, all areas of the county. So all of our 5 parks have walking trails.
And I do want to take a minute and thank you and your team for what you did during the hurricanes. As our kids have been out of school, our children have been out of school, you all have done a phenomenal job with extra programming that you had not anticipated doing, but you've run camps. Talk to us about the response of your families as you all have done that.
Well, it's pretty incredible. I've had many parents thank us for doing an impromptu camp. We did 3 weeks of camp, and it was difficult because usually when we do summer camp, there's a lot of planning involved. But I had great staff, and we all pulled together, and we came out with defined things for kids to do. We were even able to do some field trips. So, I mean, it was just really good. The parents really, really appreciated it.
Well, we just wanted to take a moment to thank you for that. Thank you and your team for putting that together. Again, no one expected or could have anticipated how our community was going to be impacted, and you all really came together and did some great things for our family. So thank you for that. And if folks want to know about all the fun things and fantastic things and soustastic things you've got going on, how can they reach you all?
Well, they can go to our website or our Facebook page. And if you have any questions about the programs, you can call our office at 910-347-5332.
All right. Well, Anna Stanley, thank you as always. And thanks for coming out.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a gorgeous day. Thanks for arranging this for us. As always, we want to thank you for joining us for Onslow County Today, and a special thank you to all of our guests. Anna Stanley with Onslow County Park and Recreation, Jennifer Montefort with Animal Services. Certainly we want to say thank you to Matthew Mano with Onslow County Public Library. A very special thank you to our friends from Cooperative Extension, Don Stallings and John Osborne and John Reinches. And finally, a very special thank you to our Family Builders Unit from Onslow County DSS, Alexis Hampton and her special guest, Brian and Kelly O'Day. Today's show has been about building community, building families, and resiliency. And no building better exemplifies that than the building that's behind me today. We are at the USO North Carolina in downtown Jacksonville. This is the oldest continuously operating USO in the world. And nothing says resiliency better than the connection that we have with our military community here. We want to say a very special thank you to all of our veterans. And finally, a special thank you to our community. This has been a very difficult time as we've recovered and weathered Hurricane Florence and Tropical Storm Michael. Thank you to you all, and remember that we are always Onslow Strong.